Hello everybody, my name is Starrapter, and I'm always excited to talk to you about Star Wars, and today is no different. Every single week I break down the latest and all of the new content for Star Wars. This week we have 2 new comics, so let's start off by talking about Star Wars issue number 61. This is part 6 of The Escape. We have our rebels. They have survived their encounter with Scar Squadron on the planet of Hubin. They are now going to the planet of this Imperial outpost with an impound lot where their vehicles are stored, and they go in there, they get their vehicles, but then Tula, who was one of the members of the Markota clan, decides that she doesn't want to join the rebels. She'll go her own way. We have Han, Leia, Luke, and Son of Stars. They go back to Home 1. They reunite with the rebel fleet with Admiral Akbar, and we have Leia, who is talking to Akbar about her plan to invade and destroy Shu-Torun, and that is what the issue is about. Going into the things that I noticed about this issue, first off, were the ships in the impound lot. There was the YT-2400 that Tula escaped on, which is one of my favorite ships. It's from Shadows of the Empire, Dash Rendar's ship. We also see a ship, I think for the first time in canon. This could be the ship design of Kyle Katarn. It is the HWK-290. They also have this ship in Star Wars X-Wing from Fantasy Flight Games, if you guys play that. So pretty cool if this was maybe the first time they included this in canon. I also did enjoy the bit about Han Solo reuniting with the Millennium Falcon. Remember, that had Chewie on it, and they were on Home 1. They were disconnected, so Han has been without his baby for a long time. So it was neat seeing him have that sentimental moment where he's like, look, everybody's got to get off the ship. I need to have a minute with this ship. And he actually touches those dice, which are so significant after watching Solo: A Star Wars Story and The Last Jedi. And last time I wasn't too hot about Scar Squadron. To be honest with you, I didn't think we would see him so soon. We see what happened with them and how they survived, being apparent badasses to survive those Thanraxes that looked like they were going to tear their heads off the last time we seen them. So they are still on the tracks of the rebels. They have located their next battle plan to go to Shu-Torun, so I'm sure they're going to give them a surprise and see maybe if we have another duel with Luke Skywalker. So all in all, this issue was okay. I mean, this was like the falling action, the epilogue, if you would say, of the Escape arc. But I think the next arc is going to be action-packed, just like the previous arc. We're going to have lots of ships and everything else going haywire. So can't wait for the next issue. Next up, for Star Wars, we have another Age of the Republic comic. This time it's for Anakin Skywalker, and this issue is set during the Clone Wars. We have Anakin Skywalker, and by the way, this is called The Sacrifice. So this is all about Anakin Skywalker. He's a general. He is no longer the Padawan of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he is forced with a very tough decision on what to do with a particular situation with separatists that potentially have innocents in this factory. And we have the character of Yularen, who is suggesting that they just bomb it, and who cares if there's innocents that are killed. So this whole issue has Anakin thinking about what to do. He goes against his orders from Yularen and actually goes and handles this situation, being brash, as Anakin Skywalker usually is, and he ends up seeing that these people are slaves, and it turns him into a frenzy, and he does save all these people, and he makes the right decision because apparently it was a trap set by the Separatists to make the Republic look bad if they did actually kill these innocents. So I wasn't expecting the story to be this good, but it really was. So things that I liked specifically about this issue. First off, I'm not sure if we ever seen that Anakin Skywalker had a yellow starfighter, at least this version. That's kind of like the version from Attack of the Clones. I'm not sure exactly on the name of that specific model of a Jedi starfighter, but yeah, that was pretty awesome. Plus the space battle at the beginning, seeing those torrent fighters with the Y-Wings, the previous Y-Wings, that was pretty awesome, seeing how dynamic everything was. I loved the deep dive in Anakin and seeing how he acts so different in this issue than he would be as Darth Vader. Like, he actually cares about the lives of these characters. You actually see it in him. There's actually narration bubbles for Anakin Skywalker, seeing the struggle of, you know, acting out an emotion. That's what it is. This whole issue is just about him acting not logically sound, but more on an emotional kind of perspective. That was pretty neat there. I liked seeing they actually were eating food in a mess hall in Star Wars. I don't think we've ever seen that. So that was something that was just out there, but I wanted to make note of it. So all in all, another great addition to Star Wars canon. And again, this does add a little bit more of layers to the character of Anakin Skywalker, who we've gotten like what, 6 seasons of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, and we're still learning so much about this character, so that's awesome. So, we had another episode of Star Wars Resistance this week. This was Season 1, Episode 14, titled The First Order Occupation. This, to me, starts like Phase 2 of the entire series here, because now we have the First Order. They are on the platform of the Colossus, and they are doing some stuff. So I talk about all this episode in my latest review. Make sure you check that out. So that wasn't all with me in Star Wars Resistance this week, because I was invited as a guest to talk on the podcast of Kanjikast. They are a podcast that talks about Star Wars Resistance. With every single episode, they break it down. They are also the same guys who run the StarWarsUnderworld.com website, as well as the Star Wars Underworld podcast. So I have a link to the website down in the description below. Make sure you do subscribe to their podcast. These guys do a wonderful job of really breaking every episode down into great detail. So moving over to my question of the week. This comes to me on Twitter from Robin McCormick. He asked me at Starrapter, what least favorite characters or places in Legends would you not want to see return in canon? That's a good question. I had to think hard about this. I don't know about places or about characters, but how about moments? Because I want to erase, and well, I'm happy we did erase, because now we have the new canon of Chewbacca being crushed by a moon. Now, granted, I didn't read a lot of Legends material, so I don't have a lot of room to talk on this entire subject, but I will say that's a little bit ridiculous, treating one of the legacy characters of Star Wars, having him crushed by a moon. Granted, I never read this story, so I don't have a lot to judge on it, but just the whole concept of it seems crazy. So yeah, if you guys ever want to have your question answered on the show, make sure you hashtag it Star Wars Weekly, and you can tag me at Starrapter on Twitter, or you can just send me a comment in the YouTube comment section down below. Next week, you guys can look forward to Han Solo Imperial Cadet issue number 4, Age of the Republic, Count Dooku number 1, as well as Star Wars Adventures issue number 18, maybe, because sometimes they don't come out on time. We'll see. So that is going to do it for another episode of Star Wars Weekly. What do you guys think of this week's releases? Let's talk about them all in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I have plenty of other Star Wars content that I release on a weekly basis, as well as other content such as my Anthem beta impressions for the upcoming BioWare game. So make sure you check that out, and do subscribe to the channel so you never miss another video. My name is Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.